So,
it's hard for me to imagine a large corporation, sitting down and having a board meeting and voting to issue its elders, a monthly check to help pay their bills or whatever. It's not something I think that a corporation routinely does, and is very unique, I think, to Native corporations.
yes, and I love our corporations as compared to other Western American, corporations. If there were one like that in Chicago, a profit-making corporation, would they be giving out money to elders in Chicago? No. But we do. We have a chance to do that. And it really aligns with our core values. One of our core values of our people is to respect our elders. And that was one way that we felt we could extend respect to our elders. And the other core value is the love of children and their development, their training. So we dedicated, money that aligns with one of our other core values. And the other, on cultural freedom, we contribute quite a bit to whaling efforts. We're whalers, hunters. Anytime there's a threat of federal or maybe state regulations getting too stringent to the point where it deprives us of our rights, then we're able to dedicate some of our profits to fight the cause.
And still, for example, now, concerns about offshore development on the North Slope and concerns for the environment and how it will impact subsistence.
Yes, that's
still going on.
It's still going on.
Yeah.
Traditionally, we've always held the position that we would support oil and gas development on land versus offshore. We prefer it to be on land because Prudhoe Bay is within our ancient boundaries. We participate in the issuance of development permits. Our caribou has grown, and we actively participate. We've always been the best of the environmentalists. We've always taken care of that. So they've learned a lot from us, as has the state of Alaska and the federal government. So that's always been our priority.
Marlene, you had something you wanted to add?
Well, one of the things we hadn't mentioned, but the Congress changed the law that you could not sell your losses, corporations could not sell their losses. And Senator Stevens was able to, with the help of Senator Inouye and a few others, get that extended, that the Alaska Native corporations for a period of time had an open window that they could sell their losses. For my region, Alaska's region, it was very, very important because we were cutting timber and depletion. The depletion we were able to sell. My village corporation, it saved my village corporation from struggling, and they set up a shareholder settlement trust with $30 million. And so we get 3 times a year, we get a check as a shareholder from the shareholder settlement trust, and it has been renewed by the shareholders 3 times. Now it only has to be renewed every 15 years. But that is important stability for our people, and we never know how much we're going to get because it depends on how the stock market is doing, et cetera, et cetera. But the regional corporation also was able to sell their losses all over, and that was very, very important. I know that for us, we set up in Alaska also a permanent fund similar to the PFD that the state had, and so we get from Alaska every year our dividend from the PFD. And the other part that happened that we haven't talked or said much about that really was important to all of us, and I really thank Brenda, was a 7I sharing. And for the first few years, we felt in Southeast, in Alaska country, that they were picking on us because we were cutting trees, we had the revenue, and we were having to share our revenue.
Thank you.
But then the pipeline came in, and Arctic Slope could give permits, and they had revenue, and they are now sharing. If it wasn't for 7I, Bethel region really would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
They were really, so even
Same
though
with
I didn't.
Red Dog now, yeah.
Yeah.
Red Dog now.
Oh, yeah, we're getting money from all these other areas. That's really nice, and it's really not the democratic way, or, Congress to take, if I earn $10, I have to share 5 of them with everybody else in the room. I mean, that's not a very democratic way of the capitalism of the United States, but that's what it did. But it really has, I think, helped a lot of regions, and it's kept us supporting each other. I want them to keep pumping that oil.
Agnes, do you have words of wisdom? All of you have so much experience, and this could go on and on and on.
Well, this discussion has tweaked a lot of memories.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that the initial efforts came in this area, and then when Cook Inlet got its land, it was mountaintops and glaciers.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yes.
We spent many, many nights working all the way on the airplanes to D.C., getting there without sleeping and negotiating and fighting, and it was all worth it. And then, as you mentioned, selling NOLs, I mean, that was unheard of in this capitalistic society. But look what happened. So we had not only 7I, we had 7J as well. So it has been so,
And Anilka.
and Anilka, and on and on and on.
1991.
Right, and we too have, in our region, we do have an elder settlement trust. And it's working very well. We're very proud of that. We, of course, also have the Cook Inlet housing. Great benefit. And so I think, were you to ask me, is ANCSA a success? I would say in many, many ways, absolutely yes. And it was worth it. And we've made lifelong friends. It's so wonderful to see all of you again.
And you too.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And before we close up, I just want to let everybody know that the next ANCSA at 40 panel is called The Oil Connection, featuring Senator Mike Gravel. Mayor Edward Itoff, former Mayor Jack Roderick, and Tim Wallace will be here Friday, April 8 at 7 p.m.
And Nellie, I have one
Okay.
acknowledgement. Marie Matsuno Nash, please stand up, and we say thank you to you
Marie.
and to all the hard work you do for us.
We tried indirectly to get Marie up here, but it didn't work out. So, thank you all very much.
Piana.
Thank you. Ganesh Chase.
Thank you all. Piana ka.
Kaya nakpa-
There are so many people in the room tonight who deserve to be recognized and thanked. I look out at this audience and see many people who, in a lot of different ways, have contributed greatly to our state. I see Georgiana Lincoln, who served in the state senate. Yeah, and Janie Leask, who was the president of AFN for many, many years. Janie, it just, I'm going to stop there before I just go on and on, because there's just a whole room full of people here. But I just want to take a moment and say that, for many of us who have been here a long time and have seen the changes in Alaska, it's hard to really explain to the young people in our audience, the young people on our campuses, the young people in our communities, what life was like in Alaska before the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act, before the corporations got stood up and became such successful economic engines as they are today. But I think each of us have a certain obligation to the next generation of leaders to tell our stories the way these wonderful women have told their stories tonight. So I just want to leave you tonight with the challenge to tell your stories. Those of you who in one way or another have helped build Alaska Native corporations, have helped build Alaska, take some time this next week to find a young person. Maybe it's a family member, maybe it's one of your students, maybe it's somebody that you just sit down and have a cup of coffee with. Tell your stories, because the Alaska Native Corporation story is a powerful one of people coming together to fight for what's right and not giving up. It's a powerful story of people seeking economic, social, and cultural justice. And it's a powerful one of a story that says, together, we can do more than we can individually. And that is something that Alaska needs to carry forward into the future. Good night, everyone, for coming. Thank you very much.